Hello and welcome. So, as you guys know, this weekend we have an exclusive discount code with So Avant-Garde. My code Arahi30 will give you 30% off any fragrance that you pick up from their site. So, from your order, you will automatically get 30% off when using my code. Now, today I have for you my recommendations, and I've been putting these together for a while now. And I can tell you that these are fragrances that for me are, for the most part, all safe blind buys, and they are fragrances that are absolutely exquisite. Most of them are perfect for all year round use, and some of them I would say are even better for the fall and winter season. But for the most part, and as I get to them, I'll let you know, for the most part, I think that these fragrances are perfect for all year round. Now, some of these fragrances, I think it's like 4 of them out of the 13 were sent to me, and when I get to them, I will let you know, but all the others are coming from my collection. And I can tell you that I am so excited to share these with you because this is a great opportunity for you to buy an exquisitely incredible fragrance and splurge a little bit without really breaking the bank. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right in because we have quite a bit to cover. But if this is your first time here, I'm Arahi, and I'm your fragrance concierge because I'm totally committed to creating the best fragrance experience for you. I upload videos multiple times a week, and on this channel, we love to talk about all types of fragrances. So if that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in, and like a good plan, then please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget, leave a comment. Let's go. All right, so the first fragrance that I want to share with you today is from Gleam, and this is Vanilla Crush. Now, Vanilla Crush is a beautiful vanilla-centric fragrance, as the name says it, and curiously enough, I really have a very strong crush on this vanilla fragrance because what I love about it is that it's not your regular vanilla fragrance. It is not like, bordering on kind of boring. No, this is a vanilla fragrance with quite a bit of character. As soon as you sniff this fragrance, you're going to pick up on that exquisitely done vanilla. But the thing about this fragrance is that the vanilla has been coupled exquisitely with the note of iris. But at that, the iris does bring a powdery quality to the fragrance, but it's not excessive. It's not like the powderiness is so much and the floral quality of the fragrance is so much that it like covers the vanilla, because without a doubt, the vanilla here is the star. The other thing about this vanilla that I love is that it gives me like a caramelized kind of scent. It's almost like the vanilla is in a pot somewhere and it's been cooking and there's like a bit of a caramel effect to it. I don't know, but I really do pick up like on a caramel note, even though I know it has not been disclosed. But maybe it's that sugar note. This is, though, a true musk-based fragrance, and I would say that the musk here is like a level 2 to 3. It's not animalic in any kind of way. You are going to pick up on the musk, but not in a very present way because the vanilla is the star and the vanilla takes over for just about everything. But I think that if you're looking for an affordable yet exquisitely done vanilla-centric fragrance, this is a great opportunity because the price point, you just can't beat the price point on this one. And with my discount code, it is an incredible deal. Let us know if you've tried Vanilla Crush and your thoughts. All right, so the next fragrance that I want to share with you is from Initio, and this one is Narcotic Delight. This fragrance, this is such an exquisitely beautiful cherry fragrance. This is a boozy cherry that also has like a tobacco and some spicy notes. It is just perfection. And at all that, it does have a floral presence, but the florals do not play a critical role. This fragrance is really all about that boozy cherry and those spicy notes that bring quite a bit of character to it. At all that, you also have quite a bit of vanilla, and you also have some tonka, and the tonka and the vanilla give the fragrance like not a caramelly effect. It's like a vanillic sweet kind of presence. And that you're going to pick up on like midway in the olfactory journey, at the dry down, and throughout the wear of the fragrance. But this is absolute perfection for the fall season, for the winter, for the spring, for the summer. This for me is an all year round beauty. And I think that this is the perfect opportunity for you to pick it up if you were familiar with it, or if you're just liking the description of the fragrance, because that's really what you're going to get. It's all about that boozy cherry with those spicy notes, that tobacco in the background that is always present. It's a moist tobacco. It's not a dry and very like dominant tobacco whatsoever. And then that vanilla that works so beautifully with a very faint touch of florals. An exquisite fragrance. So the next fragrance that I want to share with you is from Atelier d'Ors, and this one is Lune Feline. Now let's take a moment to admire this beautiful, beautiful bottle. Now, Lune Feline is a fragrance that to me is a woody, spicy fragrance. But the thing about this one is that it is so versatile, because I really think that you can use this during any season of the year, for any occasion, day or night. You could make it your signature scent. But the one thing about this fragrance is that it is going to pull people to you. It is a high compliment getter, and it is a fragrance that smells so, so beautifully elegant. There is a smoothness to it that I just cannot explain. This fragrance opens up very, very spicy. And it opens up with a very present cardamom and pink pepper. As the journey continues, the fragrance immediately reveals its woodiness. And the woodiness in this fragrance, I wouldn't say it's dominant to the point of being a bit much. No, but it is very, very present, because again, this fragrance is all about those spicy notes and those woody notes. As you approach the dry down, you are going to pick up on a tad of ambergris, but what you're really going to pick up on is a beautifully done vanilla. At the dry down, the fragrance does have a tad of a green quality that I don't even understand where it's coming from, but it is definitely there. But that just adds like additional oomph to the entire scent experience. I tell you, this is one of their top sellers, and for a good reason. All right, so the next fragrance that I have for you is very new to my collection, but I have to tell you that from the first moment I sniffed it, I fell completely in love with this one. This is an incredible, incredible fragrance, and this is from Morph Gate 17. Now let me go ahead and share the bottle with you, because it is very like artistic. It's very, very beautiful, very different. It has like an ombre effect, and it goes from that white to like the, to that yellow of the juice. But the scent itself, the juice, the fragrance, wow. This is a fragrance that opens with one of the best done beeswax notes that I've experienced in a very, very long time. It opens also citrusy and with a certain degree of freshness to it, but you are going to pick up on that honey note almost immediately. In the opening, you also have a touch of a floral quality to the fragrance, but you're not going to be able to distinguish what are the florals involved. But there is a floral presence that you are definitely going to pick up at the beginning. Now, as the journey continues, you are going to pick up on like an aquatic vibe to the fragrance. But the interesting thing is that even though you get that aquatic vibe to it, this is not really a fragrance that I would say is just really for the summer season or for spring and summer. No, this is an all year round fragrance for sure. But as you approach midway in the olfactory journey, you are clearly going to pick up on that like aquatic vibe to the fragrance. There is something that is going to be reminiscent of an aquatic vibe, but that is accompanied with a bit of powderiness coming from the note of iris. That powderiness starting midway in the olfactory journey all the way to the dry down and throughout the wear of the fragrance will be present. The powderiness is not going away, but it's not like an excessive amount of powderiness or a regular amount of powderiness. It's really like a tad powdery, which to me even speaks even better about this fragrance because it is so, so balanced. The fragrance is also ambery, but not, I wouldn't say it's very, very ambery, but it is definitely an ambery fragrance, and it does have a good bit of vanilla. This fragrance is not about the vanilla. To me, it is more about that beeswax, that kind of honey note coming into the mix. Two things I do need to let you know is that number one, this is a musk-based fragrance, so make sure that you enjoy a musk fragrance. But the musk here is, I would say, a level 3 to 4. It's not animalic, but that does mean that you are going to pick up on the musk. So in order for you to enjoy this fragrance, you really have to like a musk-based fragrance, because that's what this one is. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that at the dry down, I clearly also pick up on the vetiver. So just to make sure that you're into the note of vetiver. All right, so the next fragrance that I have for you is one that I have so been looking to sharing this fragrance with you, because this is a fragrance house that I really, with all these new releases, I haven't had a chance to really feature it more on the channel, but I'm going to have to do like a dedicated video because I absolutely love this fragrance house. And this is from Boadicea the Victorious, and this one is Envious. Now, Envious is a fragrance that if you can get your hands on it, you can thank me later, because this is an incredible fragrance. This fragrance opens up with white florals. At that, the star in the opening of those white florals is the tuberose. So as soon as you sniff it, you're going to get that tuberose note. And the tuberose is really not going anywhere. It will continue to be the star within the white florals, even though you will pick up on other white florals for sure. But the tuberose is the star. And I say that so that you know that the one thing that I would say is a condition to really enjoy this fragrance is that you really are into the note of tuberose. But the tuberose here is not heady or obnoxious or screechy. No, the tuberose has been done exquisitely. Now at that, as you approach midway in the olfactory journey, you're going to start to pick up on other florals. Because the thing about this fragrance is that it's really not about the tuberose. It's just that the tuberose takes the lead for the white florals. But this fragrance is really about the mix of white and yellow florals and the way it has been done. Now, I can't clearly distinguish any of the florals involved within the yellow florals. I can only pick up on the tuberose from the whites, and I know that there's a bouquet of white and yellow florals. That's all that I really know. But for me to say that there's a specific yellow floral that I pick up just like I do with the tuberose, no, not really. For me, it's more about that bouquet of the white and yellow florals. At all that, this is a fragrance that is very aromatic. It has an opening that, although you do have that tuberose and you have the white florals, it really is not screechy in any kind of way. And actually, there's a bit of airiness to that opening. And then that tuberose seeps in very, very smoothly. And then the yellow florals make their appearance. Now, at all that, this is a musk-based fragrance, and the musk here is to the tune of a level 3 to 4, which means you are going to pick up on it. But I also need to let you know that the musk in this fragrance is a tad animalic. The fragrance is definitely sweet, but not very sweet. This is such a great fragrance. It is not very sweet, but it is just right. The thing is about this specific fragrance, and most in my experience, I own several of the Boadicea bottles, but in my experience, their fragrances, the blend is just so balanced, and it is just an incredible experience. So if you have tried or you own Envious, please let us know in the comment section so that other fan members can know, that this is an incredible fragrance, or if you don't like it, why you don't like it. But if you can get your hands on it, this is the perfect opportunity, because this also, Boadicea tends to run pretty high up there. And with this discount, I think you're getting it at a real unbeatable price. All right, so the next fragrance that I have for you. So I told you in the opening that within the 13 fragrances, I have something for everyone, and that I cover just about every scent profile. And I meant it, because this next fragrance, this one is from Electimuss, and this is Persephone's Patchouli. This is for my true patchouli lovers. But a patchouli lover that loves a smooth patchouli. A perfectly done patchouli to me is one that you clearly pick up in a fragrance, but at that it is smooth. It is not a patchouli that is so earthy that it ends up giving that like muddy vibe, like muddy kind of scent. No. That's not what you're going to get here. This is, if I recall correctly, an award-winning fragrance, and it so really deserves it, because out of all of the patchouli-centric fragrances that I own or that I've ever tried, this one is truly the best in my opinion. Now, the other thing that you do need to know about this fragrance before I give you a little bit about the olfactory journey is that this is very much a unisex fragrance. This does not lean to the feminine side whatsoever, nor to the masculine side. To me, this is a true unisex fragrance. The curious thing is that we're talking about patchouli, and patchouli, especially when it's dominant, tends to be a powerhouse. But again, here it is so smoothly done that it conveys an air of elegance and sophistication and smoothness, like a very calm and relaxed individual. Now, Persephone's patchouli opens up very fruity, and at that it is sweet. The opening has some spicy notes, but the one that I pick up on the most is definitely the cardamom. In addition to the cardamom, you are going to have the note of plum, if I recall correctly, and pomegranate. I do not pick up on the pomegranate, but I do pick up on the plum. As the journey continues, the florals make their appearance. And let me tell you, so in the opening, the patchouli is present, but it's faint and it's in the background. I can clearly pick it up, but it's very faint. Now, as you approach midway in the olfactory journey, that patchouli makes its appearance and establishes immediately that he is the star, he or she is the star of this scent for sure. So the patchouli comes in, followed by a floral presence. The only floral that I really pick up is the jasmine, but I know that there's other florals involved because it is truly a bouquet. But within that bouquet, where at some point I may pick up on a rose or other florals, the one that really stands out to my nose and on my skin is the jasmine. Now, as you approach the dry down, the fragrance becomes more and more ambery. And at the dry down, you are going to get an ambery, woody, beautifully exquisite, kind of like with a tad of a fruity quality, but really not centered around that patchouli scent. That is what you're going to get. A very centric patchouli scent that is a tad earthy, but not very much, in a sweet scent. Now, the other thing that I do need to bring to your attention is that within the notes of this fragrance, you do have the note of honey. In this fragrance, I really don't pick up on the honey whatsoever. And this is a fragrance that I've owned for a while. I do not pick up on the honey, but I think that the sweetness that I get, specifically at the dry down, when I made it a point to tell you that it was sweet, I think it's definitely coming from the note of honey. And coupled with that patchouli, that smooth patchouli, it is just a delight. Beautifully, beautifully done. Let us know if you've tried Persephone's patchouli. Are you a lover of patchouli? Are you excited about this one? And for those of you that may be interested because you are a patchouli lover, this is the perfect time to pick this one up because the discount, again, is really, really worth it. The next fragrance that I want to share with you is pretty new to my collection, and I just gave you a review. I think it was maybe last week or the week before, but honestly, I've been so in love with this fragrance that I had to include it in this lineup because this is such a different take on the note of rice. So this one is from Affinessence, and this is santal-basmati. And I did share with you the bottle before, but just in case. So santal-basmati is a fragrance that, as the name says it, is really focused. It has 2 stars, and the 2 stars are the note of sandalwood and the note of basmati rice. And as soon as you sniff this fragrance, you will know that this is definitely focused around that sandalwood note and the rice, because you're going to pick up on that rice immediately. The fragrance does open very woody and with like a savory quality to it. This is really not a full-on savory scent in my opinion, but there is a savory quality to the fragrance for sure. It will be with you from first sniff and all throughout the wear of the fragrance. It will be present just as much as you're going to pick up on that sandalwood, and you're also going to pick up on that note of basmati rice continuously. But together, that blend, I don't know, I just think that I never expected to enjoy this blend as much. But it was highly recommended to me, and when I had the opportunity, I did request that this one be sent to me. But this is an absolutely perfect fragrance, and at that, it is so versatile because you can use it, in my opinion, for any season of the year, for any occasion, day or night. You know how I typically tell you don't take it to the gym? No, you can take this one to the gym. This is like any occasion. It's very non-offensive, so it's perfect for the office, and it is a scent that is very balanced. It's not a heavy floral, it's not heavy on oud, it is just perfect. It's not way sweet. It is just a very balanced and beautiful fragrance that focuses on those two notes. Let us know if you've tried santal-basmati, but if you haven't, this is a great opportunity to do so because I am telling you, you can thank me later. All right. So the next fragrance that I have for you is from one of my favorite fragrance houses, and this is Widian. This is Hili from Widian. Now, if you've been with me for a while, you know that I absolutely love Widian fragrances. Their fragrances are known to provide an incredible olfactory journey. The experience of wearing one of these fragrances is really almost unmatched. But the thing about their fragrances also is that they perform exquisitely. They are consistent. I don't know how they've done it, how they do it, but on a consistent basis, the performance is stellar. And on my skin and on paper, what I get is a performance that borders on beast. I have a couple of them that I would say make it to that beast mode completely, but I have to tell you that this is a fragrance that will give you, without having to overspray or reapply, well over the 8-hour mark. It also has a very strong projection and a moderate sillage. Those are the things that I would say about Widian as a brand in general if you've never tried it. But Hili is one that we really need to talk about. So here's the thing about Hili. Hili is one of those fragrances that if you were to ask me, okay, Arahi, is this a floral fragrance? I'd be like, yeah, it is definitely a floral fragrance. It has an exquisite blend of yellow and white florals. Within the yellow florals, I clearly pick up on the ylang-ylang, and within the whites, I pick up clearly on the tiara flower. But at the end of the day, it's comprised of a bouquet of white and yellow florals. Now, if you ask me, okay, Arahi, is the fragrance spicy? I would say, oh yeah, it is definitely spicy. I clearly pick up on the pink pepper, but there are other spices involved. If you ask me, okay, is it ambery? Yeah, it is ambery. Is it woody? Yeah, it is woody. Is it fruity? Yeah, so you catch my drift. This is a fragrance that brings such a combination, not just of notes, but accords and tonalities. And at that, I don't know how they do it, but it allows you to experience an olfactory journey that very few fragrances can give you. Because some of these fragrances, while they give you a complex olfactory journey, part of that journey is so challenging that it almost takes away from the overall pleasant experience. But what I'm trying to say is that with Widian, although you are consistently going to get a complex olfactory journey, it is always such an incredibly beautiful experience, regardless of how adjusted your nose has been, how long you have been sniffing fragrances. A couple of other things that I did want to let you know about this fragrance is it does have quite a bit of vanilla. It also has some patchouli, but it also has notes that you would never even consider within the others that have been mentioned, because at the dry down, and this is only at the dry down, at least to my nose, you are going to pick up on the note of coconut. The coconut is not flaky. It's not like a roasted, flaky, dry coconut. No, it is a creamy coconut, but not very creamy. And in addition to that coconut, you're also going to find the note of tobacco. And the tobacco here is a little bit dry, not very dry, but it is a little bit dry. Therefore, you are definitely going to pick up on it. Most specifically, as you approach the dry down is when the tobacco starts to come in. And at the dry down and throughout the wear of the fragrance, the tobacco is definitely present. But all in all, I think that this is an incredible opportunity to get your hands on. If you've never owned a Widian fragrance, this is your perfect opportunity, because this is truly a fragrance house that is worthy of everyone's attention. And within that, I would say that Hili is the perfect way to start. That is really why I included this fragrance in this lineup. Number one, because it's exquisite. It borders on masterpiece, if not a masterpiece. But in addition, I just think that if you've never tried a Widian fragrance, this is a perfect place to start. All right, so the next fragrance that I have for you, I did review for you maybe a couple of weeks ago. And I shared with you at the time that I was so impressed with that fragrance. This was an immediate love, not love, no, deep, deep love. And curiously enough, this is my first fragrance from this fragrance house. And I immediately declared it a masterpiece, because that's what it is to me. It is absolutely incredible. And this is Birkholz. And from Birkholz, this one is Versailles. Now, take a look at this beautifully elegant and sophisticated bottle. Very, very, very nice. The fragrance itself feels so luxurious from the moment that you grab the bottle, but then when you uncap it and you spray this incredible scent, it is just going to take you to a different mental space for sure. This is a fragrance that opens up with a very it opens up with a very strong floral presence. And at that, the lead of the florals, and by the way, those florals are purple florals, by the way. I don't pick up on any other florals, just purple. But within the purple florals, the one that takes the lead is definitely the lavender. Now, the lavender is a note that, in my opinion, if you're not careful, could make a fragrance lean to the masculine side, or it can be a bit overpowering. But in this fragrance, no, this is truly a unisex fragrance. This does not lean to the feminine nor to the masculine side, but you are definitely going to have a lavender experience. Very smooth, very nicely done, very well blended with all the other notes that are present, specifically within the spicy ones, the frankincense, because I pick up on that frankincense clearly. If I had to say or compare it to something, I would say that the way that the frankincense has been done here is the way that you find frankincense in the original Guidance. Does this smell like Guidance? No, that is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that when I first picked up on the frankincense, it immediately reminded me of my experience with the frankincense in Amouage Guidance. The fragrance is also very aromatic, and it does have an herbal quality to it, because if I recall correctly, I think it may have some sage or something like that. But this is truly an aromatic and herbal fragrance. At the dry down, you are going to get a very elegant and sophisticated, because that's really what this fragrance is about, scent that has a very strong woody presence, but not dominant, because again, dominant even at the dry down and throughout the wear will be those florals with the lavender at the lead. But the fragrance will never lose its herbal and aromatic quality. It is not a cloying fragrance in any kind of way. It does have some citrusy notes, if I recall correctly, in the opening, but the airiness that you get in the opening continues to travel with you throughout the olfactory journey, at the dry down, and throughout the wear of the fragrance. All in all, to me, this is a 10 out of 10 type of fragrance, and there was no way I was going to have this lineup and not include Versailles. Let us know if you've tried Versailles or any of the other Birkholz fragrances. I can assure you, you will be hearing more about this brand here on the channel, because I am just so impressed with this one. I just couldn't believe that I hadn't even heard about this until I received it. But anyway, moving on. All right, so the next fragrance that I have for you is one that I think this is like one of two fragrances in this entire lineup that I would say you could not use, in my opinion, all throughout the year, because this one to me is more for like a cooler weather, right? So fall, winter, and the beginning of spring. And this one is Rivalite Imperiale, and it's from Plume Impression. Now this fragrance is absolutely glorious. But the thing about this fragrance is that from first sniff, what you're going to get is a scent of dried fruits. So if you're not into dried fruits, this is not for you, because truly, you know, when you buy like a bag of dried fruits and it has different types of fruits in there, but they're all dried. Well, that is the scent that you get when you open that bag. That is how this fragrance opens. As the journey continues, you are going to pick up on some spicy notes, and to my nose, the cinnamon is the one that's really prominent, and the vanilla. There is quite a bit of vanilla in this fragrance, but at no point are you not going to get clearly that dried fruit scent. But at all that, this is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. This is not one that I would wear to a gala. I mean, is it a full-on gourmand? It's not. But in my opinion, due to the way the fruity notes have been done, it borders. It's like a gourmandish kind of fragrance. Very beautiful, very nice, perfect for cooler weather. I cannot imagine myself pulling this fragrance for a warm day during the spring. And for the summer, forget it. To me, this is perfection, and even more for the fall because of that dry fruit scent. Now, what gives the fragrance, in my opinion, quite a bit of character are two notes. The first one being the note of tobacco. The tobacco is not a very present or very dominant at all tobacco, but it is like a dry tobacco, so you are going to pick up on it. And in addition to that, you're also going to get some patchouli. The patchouli is very smooth and it's not earthy, so you don't even have to be concerned about that if you're not into patchouli. But other than that, this fragrance is absolute perfection for cooler weather, and I definitely recommend it. It is just very different. What I love about the fragrance is that it is so different, because I don't have any fragrance that really gives me that scent of dried fruits to the point of being able to like distinguish some of the fruits that I'm picking up. Very, very nicely done. The next fragrance that I have for you is one that I've already reviewed here in detail on the channel, and it is a fragrance that I really enjoy it because it is so different. But I must admit that unless you are into these notes, this may not be the fragrance for you, because it is very, very much about the note of banana and peanut butter. And I am speaking about the House of Oud, and this one is L'Explicite. Now, this is a fragrance that does have purple florals, specifically the note of iris. This is a scent that I really, really think you will enjoy if you are looking for a banana-centric fragrance that may have a bit of a nutty quality to it, and at times that will give you a clear like peanut butter scent. Then this is a fragrance that you definitely want to try. Now, this is also one that has a very nicely done note of iris, which does make the dry down powdery, but not very powdery, because that's not what the fragrance is about. There are some florals here, but they really don't play a key role for me whatsoever. And it also has a bit of zestiness to it. To me, I don't think that they've described this as a gourmand, but to me, it is very much a kind of gourmand fragrance, because I clearly, again, pick up on that banana and the peanut butter and all those spicy notes. Just together, all of that gives me like a pie of some sort, like a banana pudding pie or something like that. But anyway, let us know if you've tried L'Explicite and your thoughts. The next fragrance that I want to share with you is from BDK, and this one is Pas ce Soir, but the Extrait. This to me is a beautiful, floral, fruity, tad spicy with a note of cacao type of scent. This is so addictive. This to me is perfection. I own the original Pas ce Soir, but I actually prefer the Extrait. The thing about this fragrance is that it does open fruity, but at the same time fresh, spicy, and you are clearly going to pick up on the note of ginger. So if you are a fam member that really enjoys the note of ginger, this is the fragrance for you. As the journey continues, you are going to start to pick up on some white florals. And the one that really sticks out to me the most is the Orange Blossom. I do pick up on the jasmine, but the Orange Blossom to me is the star of the fragrance. One thing that I do want to let you know, because I know some fam members are sensitive to it, is that this is a fragrance that does have the note of ambroxan. But if you don't have an issue with the note of ambroxan, this is a fragrance that I can't recommend highly enough. And to be able to pick it up at such a deep discount is just perfect in my opinion. It also has quite a bit of vanilla, and it does have some patchouli. The patchouli gives the fragrance a tad of an earthy quality, but not much. You may not even pick up on it, but I do clearly get it. And it is also very, very versatile, because to me, this is a fragrance that you can pull for just about any occasion. I personally prefer to save it for like late afternoon into the evening and late night. But for the most part, this is a fragrance that I think that you could use any season of the year for just about any occasion, except for like the gym or anything way too casual like that. This is also a fragrance that performs beautifully because it does get me a full day wear with a very strong projection during the first 2 hours. And after that, it does become a skin scent, but the type of skin scent that will give you whiffs of the fragrance all throughout the day. All right, so the next and last fragrance that I have for you today is from Nishane, and this one is Tuberoza X. And look at this beautiful, beautiful bottle. So Tuberoza X is the fragrance that follows the original Tuberoza fragrance. And I have to tell you that I do prefer the X. Tuberoza X is a fragrance that combines white florals and yellow florals and purple florals. There's a very present note of violet here that does give the fragrance a powdery dry down. But the thing about this tuberose is that it gives the fragrance, and I don't know if it's the tuberose or what is it, but what I do know is that this is a fragrance not just for my tuberose lovers, but also for those of you that like that kind of lipsticky scent, because you're definitely going to pick up on it. And I don't have to wait till the dry down to pick up on that lipsticky note. I actually pick it up at first sniff. At first it is faint, and then it continues to intensify. And by the dry down, it will be present with you and throughout the entire wear of the fragrance. The fragrance, as I said before, is powdery at the dry down, but not very powdery. But this fragrance is really all primarily about the tuberose, followed by the combination of all of those exquisitely done florals. The fragrance also does have, to a certain degree, a woody presence, but not very much. The woodiness is like in the backdrop at the dry down kind of faint. The fragrance is quite ambery and musky, but the musk is like a level 2 to 3, so I would not be concerned with the musk being animalic or anything like that, because it's not. But the fragrance is definitely ambery, giving it also a bit of like a warm feel. To me, this is a fragrance that is perfect for any season of the year, for any occasion, day or night. You know, because it has all those florals, I personally would not wear it to any type of occasion where I know I'm going to be perspiring. But other than that, this is a very versatile fragrance that you could take to the office. You could take it for just about any other occasion. All right, fam, so we've reached the end of today's video, and I hope that this was helpful for you as we prepare for our discount event of this weekend. Remember that the code is Arahi30, and that will give you 30% on your purchase at So Avant-Garde starting this Friday the 26th and up until the 29th. I can't wait to hear what you pick up and how you enjoy it. As always, thank you so much for hanging with me today, and I will see you all in the next video.